Okay, good morning guys. We're going to continue with our work on factorising today. So we're going to look at factorising the difference of two squares. Okay, so we get an expression where we're going to have the difference of two squares. So, for instance, x squared minus 9. So that's a difference of two squares. Remember, difference means you subtract one from the other. So that's something squared, that's x squared. And this is something squared, this is 3 squared. So when you get an expression like this, we can always factorise it to x minus 3 and x plus 3. Okay? So this only works when you get a square number and then a minus and then another square number. So it only works in that case. Okay? So again, if we get x squared minus 64, again, will be the square root of 64 is 8, so it would be x minus 8 brackets x plus 8. So it's always the same number here and here, but then a minus in the first one and a plus in the second one. A minus in the first one, and the second one. And these two numbers are the same. Okay? So it doesn't matter which way round these are either. So for instance, this could be written the other way around. So if I wrote it as 64 minus x squared, again it's a difference of 2 squared, so this one's going to go first, so the square root of 64 is 8, it's going to be 8 minus x brackets 8 plus x, like that. Okay, so if I expanded those brackets out, I would get back to this. 8 times 8 is 64, 8 times x is minus 8x, minus x times 8 is minus 8x, and then x minus x times plus x gives you minus x squared. Okay, you might want to pause the video now. Okay, so again, the letter is irrelevant. So y squared minus 16 would be y minus 4, y plus 4. So we can have any letter. Even if they're both letters, so a squared minus b squared would be a minus b, a plus b. Like that. Okay. And we might have a combination of a number and a letter. So for instance, 4x squared minus 25, the square root of 4x squared is 2x. So it would be 2x minus 5. Let's give myself a little bit more space here. Start over here. So 4x squared minus 25. Square root of 4 is 2, square root of x squared is x, then minus square root of 5 is 25 is 5. That's in the first one. The second one is, again, the same as the beginning, 2x plus 5. Again, we can try that again over here. So if we had 16x squared minus 1, square root of 16 is 4, square root of x is x squared is x. Square root of 1 is 1, and then again 4x, then it'll be plus 1 in the second bracket. Yeah? These, as long as this is a square number, and this is a square number, and you've got a minus between, it's the square root of all of this, minus the square root of that, times by the square root of this, plus the square root of the other number. Okay, so again, these could be swapped around. So for instance, if I had 9 minus 36x squared, square root of 9 is 3, minus square root of 36 is 6, square root of x squared is x, that'll be in the first bracket, and then the second one will be again 3, but then this time plus 6x. Okay? So it's all we're doing, remember, is the square root of this term. So square root of 16 is 4, square root of x squared is x. minus square root of 1 is 1. Then in the other one, it's going to be the same thing, but just a plus in place of the minus. So it's all, the two brackets are always the same, apart from there's a minus in the first one and a plus in the second one. Minus in the first one, plus in the second one. Otherwise, everything else is the same. Okay, so this is a difference of two squares, and this is the last bit of factorising we're going to do this time around. And then we'll move on to continuing with the algebra, but not specifically in factorising. Okay, so I'll set you some questions, and we'll have a Zoom time today. So in our normal lesson time, the Zoom I'll give you the Zoom details, and you can speak to me on Zoom, and then I'll be able to answer you any questions. But have a look at the video, have a look at this video, and see if it makes sense. Okay. Thanks, guys.